off this series on food, I really just want to provide some recipes that aren't necessarily like crazy things to make, but just basically make meal prep easier, but also make the food taste really good. Recipes that are primarily focused on a single macronutrient are a little bit easier to kind of measure in portion sizes. So we won't be making like foods with heavy sauces most of the time or anything like that. It'll be primarily carbohydrate focused foods, fat focused foods, or protein focused foods, and just makes things a little bit easier. But we're trying to just add a little bit of flavor and make things taste a little bit. And a lot of this stuff has just kind of been from my own experience over time. So one of the things that I really love and that has made prep a lot easier is sushi rice. And sushi rice is a few things. It's a special kind of grain. So it's a shorter grain that is a little bit more sticky. There's more starch, and this is what we have in sushi. So we're going to make that. The other ingredients are over here on the side. So we've got very simple stuff. We have salt, we have a little bit of sugar, and we have some rice wine vinegar. So when you go out to get sushi rice, here's one example. I got this bag for this video, so we can take a look at the grain size here. They're kind of really small grains, as you can see, but it has the same macros, more or less, give or take a gram of carbohydrates than any other rice that you might consume. So this one is super premium short grain rice, and I got this at my local Asian market. You can probably also find it online, but really, who wants to ship rice? So try to find something local. So we've got some of that, and as far as cooking instruments, it's rice, so we don't need anything crazy. You can just make it in a pot. Because we have rice so much, I've got this rice maker here, which is automatic. It's just got some different buttons that you can press. So we're going to be using this, and the benefit is that it keeps your rice warm for a few days on end, so you can eat it and enjoy it as well, and you don't have to fuss about timing. Just one of those quote-unquote set it and forget it kind of things. So yeah, we'll be making some rice here. So when you measure rice, it's not actual cups. So this is the cup that it comes with, but this isn't an actual full cup. I think it's 7/8 of a cup or something, just a little bit less. So make sure you use the appropriate measure to get the right rice to water ratio. So we're just going to add, we'll do 3 cups today. It's Sunday, so we're going to make some rice for a little bit later. And just leveling these off. I know you're supposed to rinse your rice as well, but I haven't really found that it makes a difference in the taste or even the macronutrients, so I'm just going to add water up to the right level and get that started. And we will come back after this is done to add in those ingredients to make it sushi rice. Okay, so our rice is done. We're just going to make our little mix here for the add-in. So I have some sugar here. This is 1.5 tablespoons, which really doesn't add much carbs by the time we take a look at the whole size of the recipe. So we're going to add that in. We're going to also add in an equal amount of salt, so 1.5 tablespoons. There we go. And we're going to add in probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. And we're going to heat this up after we mix it around a little bit. So we're going to put this in the microwave for about a minute, and then pour this over the rice mixture. All right, so I just pulled this out of the microwave, and I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. This is pretty hot now. Here's our cooked rice. What we really just want to do is try to coat every grain. So I'm pouring this over the top of the mixture and scraping in. This is really hot. Scraping in some of the last little bits here. And then I'm just going to take some time here with this rice paddle and just get this mixture evenly distributed So what does this do? This just adds kind of flavor and body to the rice without really adding much of any calories. And this is going to be kind of one of our trends that we carry forward is what kind of flavor can we add without adding a whole lot of calories. So we're going to be looking a lot to what we can do with curing, with spices, with vinegars, with adding small amounts of higher calorie things, but not really a whole lot. And we'll just take a look at a lot of low calorie foods and food substances that might be overlooked. So when you make the sushi rice, you can make it with really any kind of chicken. You can have some roasted seaweed alongside, like we've got some right here. So these can be really good to go along with it. Obviously soy sauce, teriyaki sauce or anything like that with various Asian flavors. So I think next time we'll do some salmon if we're not out of town by then. But yeah, this will be really good. It'll keep for quite a long time and really add some taste and body to your daily rice. All right, training time. Well, that was my little preview of food segments. Let me know what you guys think about those. And also, if you think that I should separate out the food stuff from the vlog stuff in future videos, I can definitely do that. Or if it's kind of better combined as one. But I'm thinking right now it'll kind of be like a recipe at the start and then some training after that. But they're obviously dramatically different content, so it might be better to split them up. Anyway, let me know. So back in the mix with training, what's the plan for training? Well, I just need a little bit of a period of some higher reps and, just slightly more bodybuilding kind of stuff and a little bit of a break from the high loads that we used going into nationals. So this time around, we're dropping specificity and even frequency just slightly. So I'm squatting twice a week. I have a high rep squat day with chains coming up, and then some sets of 4 to 6 on another day. With bench press, I've got kind of a more normal day and then some bench with chains as well. That's been a lot of fun, by the way, and just basically higher reps on everything. So still training 5 days a week. The number of assistance exercises goes up. I'm now doing just about 5 exercises per day, whereas during prep I was doing 4. So the nice thing about that is it makes room for a lot of the stuff that I don't normally get to do a whole lot. That's extra bicep work, that's extra lat work, some calves, some abs, some back extensions. The mix of some of that new stuff has made training feel a lot more fun. And we'll be running this for about 7 weeks or something like this. I'll still be looking to, push the pace on progress and drive the numbers up here as we kind of head forward. So plenty of pitch shark work in there. I think squats, I guess I'm working my way up to somewhere around 260 kilos by the end of this, 570. And then the deadlift work, I'll be excited to see what kind of stuff I can do with chained sumo. So while the RPE isn't very heavy, we're looking at RPE 7 or so. I'm guessing, who knows? It'd be nice to get up to around 700 pounds at the top on those. Similar thing with bench press, up to RPE 7 or so for some sets of 4. And then just really kind of working on improving muscle size, strength, and just making sure I get out nice and healthy. These sets of 15 on squats were absolutely brutal. It was a bad idea. It's kind of like a deload, mess around kind of week, and I don't remember the last time I've ever done a set of 15, but damn, this was pretty darn difficult. So yeah, during this period of time, a slightly higher protein intake, just making sure that I continue to eat like an athlete. It's kind of easy when you remove a goal to settle back into eating habits and lifestyle habits that are a little bit more relaxed. So I think part of that is goal setting and just making sure that despite having another competition on the horizon, you also reframe and set some numbers. So over the next few weeks, I'll be doing that and kind of deciding, well, what exactly do I want to be my next goals? My next competition for sure is going to be Worlds, but that's all the way in June. That's a long time. to weight. So I just want to make sure that I set some goals in the meantime. What numbers am I looking for? How do I want to measure my progress? What process-oriented goals do I really want to focus on? So I may make some goals on just kind of how I think about goal setting, and then probably just some more stuff on sports psychology. Just keeping it real, like I feel a lot of imposter syndrome on a regular basis, and would love to just talk about a lot of the things that I implement myself, that I talk about with athletes, but just kind of feel this sense that, like, I don't know, that there's people out there who could talk about it better than I do, or already do, or I'll encounter resistance, or all these just kind of naysayer voices that probably are more serious in my head than are actually in real life. And I've watched all these YouTube videos and motivational videos about people kind of talking about the same kind of stuff and saying, if you don't even try, then what are you doing? And other people are out there already talking, and if you have the right intentions and if you're trying to put out good information, then you're already half the way there. So I hear all these things, and I really just kind of want to act on them and to be better. But going back in a completely different direction and talking about the sushi rice. Rice is not only cheap, but when you make it taste good, like, it really just improves everything else. And as far as prep foods, things that are easy, it's just a good base that you can use to make other things taste better. Not only is it, a lot of carbohydrates pretty quickly, but you can make fried rice out of sushi rice, or any kind of rice really, by tossing in maybe one whole egg, some egg whites, using some sesame oil, some soy sauce, and some vegetables, some carrots, some corn, and just toss in some chicken, make chicken fried rice, and that is a fantastic meal. The thing I didn't mention, by the way, there's a spice for rice called furikake, which is, well, it's a lot of things. There's different blends, but it's a blend of sesame seeds, some sugar, some seaweed, and I think some bonito flakes as well. And it is insanely good as a topping for rice. So cheap way to make carbohydrates tasty, especially if you're already having rice. Just elevate that rice up a little bit more. All right, gonna end the vlog here. We are headed out to Dubai for IPF World Championships. So wish you guys well, and I will talk to you soon.